Reynolds Price takes his place in the long line of Southern storytellers who have enriched the world of American letters. He teaches and encourages writing, which he considers at least as hard as coal mining. And his new book, Blue Calhoun, reflects life and love in his beloved North Carolina. And we're pleased to have him and pleased to have Herb join me for this conversation because you two have known each other for what, 30 years? How long?
30
years ago, yeah.
at least.
Tell me about this book. It's your 9th novel. I should say that you and I are old friends, and while I never took a course with you at Duke, we've been friends for a long, long time. Tell me about Blue Calhoun, because it is a very long letter in which a man, in a sense, writes a letter to his granddaughter.
His young granddaughter,
Yeah.
his adolescent granddaughter, who's just undergone an awful trauma in her own family life. And he writes this very long letter to her, attempting to explain to her what he thinks are the seeds of this awful family tragedy and attempting to help her see her way out of it.
Yeah.
This tragedy, which he thinks initiated with a huge sort of flight of passion that he committed himself to.
Yeah,
when
but
he
this
was
flight of
35
passion is
years
so
old.
exciting. We got to talk about. I mean, how much can we talk about without giving away the novel? It is the story of a man who worked in a music store in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yeah.
And April 24th, 1968, was it? April 24th,
56 maybe, yeah.
Okay. In walks Luna.
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 Yeah.
And she is 16.
Luna's 16.
And she wants a what? She wants to buy.
She wants to buy an auto harp.
Yeah. And she sings.
She sings.
And he falls madly, passionately
Then and there.
for
in
her.
love with
And
her.
he's what, 40?
He's 35.
35.
Very
And she's
dangerous
16. And as he writes this to his granddaughter, he is saying, it was the happiest time
of
my life.
Absolutely.
This passion,
Yep.
which caused all these problems.
Right? He won't deny that.
Yeah. What are we writing about here?
We're writing about passion.
Yeah.
And about the great lunge for it that certain people are both brave enough and crazy and wasteful and reckless enough to make. And those are the kind of people I've been fascinated by ever since I was
And
watching
are they people, you and I grew up in the same part of North Carolina,
Yeah.
in eastern North Carolina, east of Raleigh. He lived in Raleigh. Where do you find the stories? Where is it, you know, I'm not asking specifics, but I'm in a sense of where does Faulkner and where does Price or where does Eudora Welty get the material that feeds their storytelling genius?
Well, we're born as pieces of sort of negative Velcro who move through the world picking up all kinds of impressions that other people don't seem to retain.
Yeah.
And then 30 years or 40 or 50 years later. I mean, I was storing impressions for Blue Calhoun certainly as long as 45 years ago. I didn't know I was doing it. I was 14 years old.
But by some osmosis, it was seeping into your brain.
I was a watchful child, which is obviously one of the absolutely baseline characteristics that any writer has to have.
Yeah. When did you know you wanted to write, that was what you wanted to do?
I knew for sure when I was in the 11th grade. How old are you? 17 maybe? 16 or 17?
You graduate from high school when you're 18.
Yeah.
And then you went to Duke and then won a Rhodes Scholarship. I mean, and when you went to Merton College, were you on your way knowing that because of the influences there, that there was nothing else?
Yeah, I'm one of the few Rhodes Scholars who's not presently running for president, but
yes,
but I knew I didn't want to run for president. I
Yeah.
wanted to be a writer, a more interesting and more and perhaps more usable trade.
Why?
Why did I want to be a writer?
Yeah.
Because I knew how to do it, I thought. And I had a tremendous compulsion to do it.
Yeah. This is quite different from what you talked about, Herb. Did you feel that? I mean,
I didn't know if I was going to be good at it, and I'm still not sure.
Yeah.
But for me, it was just a lot to do with. Well, it sounds to me like from Blue Calhoun, you know, these ghosts follow you down the street, and they won't be quiet till you write them down.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're as loud as a Dixieland band, and sometimes they whisper, but they won't leave you alone till you write them down.
Yeah. And you've got to get them, put it down. I mean, it's
Well, they're
it's
following
painful.
the people on 6th Avenue who are talking back to them out loud in the streets, but we talk to them.
Yeah,
on
but you have a
paper,
way
on
to really,
stage.
you have a catharsis then.
Absolutely.
And that's the difference.
It's the greatest job in the world,
Is
hard
it-
as it is.
He writes plays and you write novels and plays,
Yeah.
and short stories and novellas and memoirs and, I mean, and 23 books, I guess.
Feed and seed
And
catalog.
whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Love the last one.
With the feed and seed
Oh,
catalog.
I love those.
Did you get any
Had
helpful
me.
advice? Those
Had him
tomatoes have never been
Had him
better, have they?
sneezing, yeah.
edge of my seat.
The feed and seat catalog did it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you remember the favorite chapter?
Well, there was the one about the, passionate flowers that. Ooh.
Yeah.
And then there were the morning glory seeds.
Woo!
Yeah.
Wow. Be careful.
You're going to be a regular on this show, Eric. I could tell.
Be careful. I'm still working on the gender difference.
Yeah, you didn't get it. I didn't think you got it at all.
Did you see
I
that
kept
blank
waiting
look
for the
on my
hands of
face?
this table to part.
Was it apparent that I had a
Was
blank
it
look on
apparent?
my face?
Yeah, of course it was.
Did you understand it?
Yes.
You did?
No, but I mean, no to a lot of other people.
Oh.
Let me come back to Reynolds
Excuse
Price.
me.
Yeah.
The storytelling, that if I described you most of all as a storyteller, would that be or writer, which would give you more satisfaction?
Storyteller when I'm writing fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah. And plays.
Do Southerners do they do it better, you think? Is there something about having a losing war fought on your soil, all those things that people like to write about us? Does that ring true for you?
I think we probably have done it better longer in American literature than anybody else, but there's certainly other groups who are sort of feeding into the culture
You mean
at
the
all
Irish,
times.
or
The Irish, Jews, American Indians.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that blacks are one of the two most important components of Southern storytelling.
Yeah. The other themes that you have constantly touched is one of this is love and passion. The other is the past intruding into the present. What are the other themes that you constantly feel like you're grappling with and that never leave you? I mean, love is central to what you write about, and passion and
I don't think
and
about
pain
them as
that it brings.
I don't think about them as themes while I'm doing them, but when I look back years later, I think one of the main things I see myself talking about and arguing with myself about is the whole idea of freedom, which is both synonymous with and the opposite of love in so many cases, in so many lives. And so I think
it's the opposite of love, because love means somehow accepting responsibility and
Literal
obligation and duty, and therefore
literal forms of bondage. And I don't mean
no,
I don't mean kinky bondage, but I mean an absolute.
Do you remember that from the seed catalog, do you?
The bondage parts.
Yeah. The bondage part?
Yeah.
Oh.
Tying up the morning glories. Yeah.
You said it.
You said it.
And the tomatoes, too.
Let me finally come back to you and I have talked about this before. Wheelchair and how that, in a sense, you thought when you first had cancer, spine, radiation, all the pain and agony, you wondered if you could write again.
Yeah.
And now you believe it has been a stimulus.
I think it has.
In what way?
I sat in a chair for 5 months doing absolutely nothing, and then I started writing again and have written a lot more, a lot faster, and I couldn't begin to tell you what did it.
But
Whether there was some sort of physiological speeding up. Maybe those two women could tell me, but I don't know. I'm not asking any questions about it.
But in fact, you feel what? Urge, stimulation, motivation.
Yeah, not under, but not. People are always saying, "Oh, well, obviously you're doing it because you think you're dying fast."
I didn't say that. Yeah.
No, you didn't say that. But no, I have absolutely no sense of being under anybody's gun.
I'm almost out of Reynolds Price's 23rd or 24th book, ninth novel. Many people say it's a masterpiece. Blue Calhoun is the title, and it's always a pleasure to have him here. We'll be back in just a moment.